All right, guys, so we got the D&J, and they already had our engine on the stand with the sleeves punched in it with the deck plate. Just kind of going over it. We cleaned it up, went ahead and once it was clean, we started putting bearings in. We actually started file fitting the rings. We're using a Total Seal ring. The top ring is a 1-piece, the second ring is a 2-piece, and the oil control ring is a 3-piece. That was kind of cool to see how they did that and get those on. Then we went ahead and dropped the crankshaft into the engine, put the bearings in there obviously, and then I went ahead and upgraded to a billet main cap. It was something that Drew said would help with reliability, so I went ahead and spent a little bit of extra money on that. That is an option with an Enforcer engine. From there we went ahead and we put our J-jets in with the banjo bolt. Then we went ahead and started putting the parts of the cam in. We put the roller lifters in. Those are really sweet. I think that's really going to help this year. Just with, I've never had any cam problems, so to speak, but Drew said that with the solid tappets at higher RPM, you can have some issues. So we went ahead and did the Keystone roller lifters. You guys can see those bronze bushings that got pressed in to the block. They have a little notch. The lifter has 2 little balls that track it, so that way it doesn't get cocked in the bore. Once we were there, we went ahead and started putting our pistons on the D&J 1-inch longer X-beam rods, and then we put the tool steel wrist pin in there. Yes, we did make sure all the E-clips were there, and then we put our rings on. Went ahead, dropped the connecting rods into the engine and torqued those. I really like Drew's rods. I mean, they're really nice. We were weighing everything as we did this engine build, and I was amazed at how these rods were finished, and the rods and the pistons rather, because he makes those pistons too, how close they were and how close we got them when it was done. I mean, it was really unbelievable to me to see that level of quality. It just speaks for everything they do. I mean, Drew doesn't need any introduction. Like, if you guys know who Firepunk is, pretty much everyone's heard of Firepunk. You know, you got to see that, you know, he definitely got his name for quality, and it did not disappoint in that assembly either. Once we got the pistons, rods, rings, bearings in, then we went ahead and we started with the cam. We put it's one of Drew's cams. I believe it's a 216-240. It is a roller cam, steel cam. Drew put all bushings in the cam journals for us. Put that in, degreed it. Gene did weld the cam gear on for a little bit extra durability. We got that put in there. Then we went with a pickup tube, put the oil pan on, and the guys at D&J were nice enough to go ahead and weld on that bung for us. That really made my life a lot easier. That way I don't have to pull the oil pan back off. And I don't know, it might have been a little buyer's remorse or something, but all those brand new billet parts just look so nice. So we got a new front cover, and we got new freeze plugs on all the front, the rear, and the 3 sides. From there, we called it a night. After we got that far into it, came back the next day and we started putting the head on. We're using the 9/16 head studs that Drew provided. His stage 3 head, which is the big valves, his valve springs, the thread and freeze plugs, I think it's a 5-axis port job, his billet shelf. I really like the intake that like Cody Fisher has. However, with the configuration of my truck, it's very hard to make it fit. So I was stuck with the replacement shelf, which is still gonna flow a ton. Once we got the head on and torqued with a firing gasket, we went ahead and started degreeing the camshaft. Drew provided the push rods, obviously with the deck plate. The ones we were using aren't long enough, so we got his push rods. Degreed in the cam. We bolted the rocker assemblies on, and then we pressure tested it. We pressure tested the crankcase, and we pressure tested the cooling system, make sure we didn't have any leaks, no issues. Then we went ahead and filled it up with engine oil. And they do it a lot differently. As you guys can see in the video, they use a starter with a battery on a flex plate. I actually thought that was super cool and really creative. A little bit easier than the way that Meyer and I do it, but it does require a starter, flex plate, and all that stuff. So I might try that next time. But either way, it was definitely cool to see how a shop did it differently. From there, we just kind of packaged it up. The guys over there were awesome. We got it in a bag, saran wrapped. They helped me tarp it, helped me strap it in the truck. Everyone there, from Josh when you walk in the front door to Matt all the way at the back tearing down cores, was super friendly, super helpful. If you had a question and you wanted to ask, you know, they were down to have a conversation with you. And I'm really excited for where the 05 could go this year if, you know, the stars align as far as events and COVID and all that crap. Whether you believe in it or not, there's enough people that want to shut down the country. So it'll be interesting to see how many events we go to this year, but I can say with 100% confidence, I'm super excited. And now at least every time I lay down the hammer, I don't have to worry about it. We got a solid engine in there. Oh, we also put Drew's girdle in that engine as well. That's something I left out, but we did put that in there. And I'm just pumped. We got roller cam, Manton's coming in clutch with roller rockers. We got the girdle, we got the billet main caps, full weight crankshaft. I mean, everything to be successful. Really, it's on me now. We got some more work to do on the 05 to get the ECM swap, but we're gonna go ahead and break it in with the regular, with the 848 ECM, just because we know it runs. I don't want to be cranking on an engine without first making sure that it does fire and runs well. We got a break-in period to do as well. Drew gives really detailed instructions on how to do that. All in all, it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot, and it was cool to see how they did stuff compared to how I do stuff. And some stuff I'm going to take from this and use it on my own. Some things I felt like I did it the way I do it's fine. But all in all, it's always cool to learn from other people, especially other people that have such a successful track record. All right, so the good folks at D&J let me pull my truck in there, get this fixed. And Meyer and Colby got the fitting ship, so we're going to just get this patched up. We have our deck plate in the back. Gonna strap her down a little bit better, but just want a huge thank you to these guys over here. Number one, letting me fix my broken stuff. Number two, letting me help assemble the engine. They've just been awesome. I'm gonna put some clips of what's going on at the shop. Drew said it was okay to film some of the machines and stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoy that content. I'm gonna go ahead and put those in here. Here we got the core teardown area, all the heads, engines, blocks, just a ton of cores back here. Pretty cool. Just cores for days. And it's kind of cool. We said we could film this. We're making rods, billet ones. Pretty cool. Can I walk back there? This is the fire pump engine, all torn down. I got to see some of the bearings in it. It was incredible. Like how many passes are on it, how good everything looked. And it's pretty sick. This is the dry sump thing. It is awesome. I even got, if you look down in there, you can see all the, maybe not, but there's 6 main bolts per cap. It's pretty sick. This is where we built everything in the engine clean room. They got some engines over there. I think that's a Performance Series, but pretty sick in there. Nice in here. It was really easy to work in this little area. Very clean. Had all the stuff we needed. It was nice. And over here, Just got all their billet finalized stuff. Looks like Cody's got to come weld this, but looking good. Head going in there, pretty cool. We're off. Just pulled out of Drew's shop after getting the trans line fixed. Okay, so we got our new fitting on. I'm gonna go ahead and hook it up to the transmission cooler right there, down there. Get our boost tube back in, which is over there, and we will be good to go. Paid our bill, and we're gonna go relax for a little bit. But yeah, I want to give a huge thank you to the whole team over there. Everybody was really cool. We got a little filming done in the engine area, which was awesome. Got some filming of what they do there. I mean, there's organized chaos. I couldn't even follow it, but those guys look busy. Hopefully you guys like this video. Leave a comment if you'd like, subscribe. We got the 05's engine, cat's out of the bag with that one, and the 07. Hopefully we'll make another 2,000 mile trek home without any issues. I'll catch you guys on the next one.